Hi there, welcome. Today we are doing the A to Z book tag. My most read author turned out to be Agatha Christie. I have read all of her books. I don't own all of them anymore. I only saved these copies that I really like because they are these old prints. I really had to think about this one because there are so many great sequels in different series. But in the end, I chose A Court of Mist and Fury just because this one turned around everything that was built up in A Court of Thorns and Roses, and changed my whole perspective on different characters. And I think it was really well done. The book that I am currently reading is All Better Now by Neil Shusterman. This one is about a virus that is making everyone happy. So far, it's okay. I hope it picks up a bit because it is 500 pages. Yeah, still some time to go. When it is cold, I prefer to drink a coffee with a bit of a chocolate twist, and when it is hot, I like a limey lemonade. I prefer physical books. Surprise! I am very much hoping that my high school self would have been smart enough to date a guy like Ravi from A Good Girl's Guide to Murder because he is kind, he's smart, and he is very supportive of his girlfriend. At first, I didn't want to read Watership Down by Richard Adams because I was afraid that I would be scarred for life reading about animals and what might happen to them. But I am glad that I read it anyway, even though I did get scarred for life. Yeah. Something that you should definitely check out are the graphic novels by Brecht Evans. These are truly amazing. You have the artwork, which is just magnificent, and the stories are really great as well. So these are the Dutch versions, but I am sure that there are English translations of all of them. I think the last one still needs to be translated, but look at what this guy can do. Hmm. I think the biggest thing for me was going to study Dutch and English at university after high school, or after secondary school. Because for the first time I was really able to talk to other people about books. We were reading the same books and we got to discuss them in class. And sometimes it got a little too much or too over the top if you have to analyze the you know what out of every book that you're reading. But when you are having fun with a book, it is just a delight when you are able to talk about that with other people who are like-minded. So yeah, I think that is the thing that comes to mind. The book I have just finished is Emily Wilde's Compendium of Lost Tales by Heather Fawcett, which is the third and final book in the Emily Wilde series. This is cozy fantasy. If you like that sort of thing, I would advise you to read it. For me personally, it wasn't that amazing, but I'm glad that I finished up the series. The writing was quite good though. I'm not too sure that there is a type of book I would definitely not read. I think I have tried all kinds of genres. It's just that I'm less drawn to non-fiction books. Things like biographies or self-help books are not as high up my list. And if we are moving into fiction, then I think that science fiction is less my thing, although I have a lot of science fiction on here. And what else? Oh yeah, romance is also not that much a thing for me. But I do love my romance in combination with other things. So like romance in a fantasy book, or romance in a historical fiction or contemporary fiction book. As long as it is combined with something more than just being a trope, then I'm fine. I scanned my bookcases quite quickly and I found this book, Dance of Dragons by George R. R. Martin, which I think might be the longest book on my shelves that I have read. It is over 1,000 pages, I believe. I'm looking it up right here. I do think that I have read books that are even longer than this one. They just are not on my shelves anymore. I think the biggest hangover that I ever have had after a book was after reading Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. Well, me and the rest of the world, I would imagine. This was just such a great series, and when it finally ended, it just left a hole, and we were all looking forward to something new. And then The Cursed Child came out, and we were disappointed. I have three bookcases with their own function. This bookcase is the one with all the books that I have read and that I have decided to keep at home. This is my second bookcase with special edition books, books that I am proud of owning. A lot of them are the Penguin Cloth-bound editions, which I am collecting. And then this one, which is very professionally filmed. This is my complete to be read. All of these books are still to be read, or are books that I really want to reread at some point in time. One of the books that I have reread many, many times is Ready Player One by Ernest Cline. This is just a really fun book. It is about gaming, it is about the 80s, and I absolutely love this book. This is very much a comfort read for me. I have it in a physical copy and on audiobook. My favorite place to read is my sofa at home, which you can see over here. It's quite a cozy sofa to sit in. But honestly, I can actually read everywhere. I'm quite good at shutting out the noise around me and getting invested in my book, so I can read at pubs or in waiting rooms. I always have my book with me everywhere I go. But yeah, the coziest place remains at home. It might be a cliche, but my favorite quote is "Be kind, for everyone you meet is fighting a harder battle" by Plato. I love this quote because I think it's very true. The further you move on with your life, you realize that people are all having things going on in their lives, and that you should never judge them because you do not know what is happening behind their facade. Yeah, and I think reading really helps with that, to put things in perspective and to realize that there might be more going on than you know. I'm not too sure what this sentence is supposed to mean. I don't think I really have any regrets about reading any books, because you always learn something, even if it is that it was not the book for you. I think if I have to talk about something that I regret in accordance to books, then it probably is that the behavior of certain authors sometimes casts this taint on books. I am not someone who will cancel books because of the author, even if I do not agree with the behavior of that author. I very much like to separate the art from the artist. But even though I try to do that, some of the books that I have loved before do have this, yeah, a bit of a taint, a bit of a bad taste in my mouth now, because of things that I've heard and wish that I would not have heard. I have no series that I need to finish. There are only series that I am being prevented from finishing, I'd say. So here we have the Kingkiller Chronicles by Rothfuss, and we have A Song of Ice and Fire by George R. R. Martin. And both of these I cannot finish because the writers are not finishing them. So, well, we keep on hoping. I am doing the impossible by choosing only three, but I would definitely include these. The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins is just this amazing book. It will forever be in my heart. Then we have The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. This is a beautiful fantasy book which got me out of a reading slump. And then we have Peter Pan by J.M. Barrie, which is my forever favorite children's book and a classic, of course. I am a huge fan of the following books. These are the Cormoran Strike novels, which are written by Robert Galbraith. These are detective books. This whole series is a detective series about Cormoran Strike and his partner at his detective firm. And they solve crimes and mysteries, and these books are just really, really well written. The plots are worked out amazingly, the twists are great, and each book is just better than the previous one, and I'm really looking forward to the next one coming out, which would be called The Hallmarked Man, I believe. Yeah, just can't wait. My most expected release actually arrived today, so we can have a little unboxing over here together. Drum roll, please. There it is. It is Sunrise on the Reaping by Suzanne Collins. I cannot wait to start reading this one. Oh, I'm procrastinating on my work to read my book. Definitely. Since I have 3 bookcases, I did this one 3 times. You will see me counting to 27 for each bookcase. In the red category, I ended up with Jurassic Park by Michael Crichton. I love this book. It's really good. Then I moved on to my special editions. Of course, there are 7 books in the Harry Potter box. And then I continue counting, and I ended up with East of Eden by John Steinbeck. And then in my third bookcase, I had to remove the row that was standing in front of this because I just have so many to be read books. So I counted the back row over here, and then I added the row before it again. And I ended up with Betty by Tiffany McDaniel. This book arrived even after the Sunrise on the Reaping, so technically this is my last one. It is Chinese Cinderella, which I still have to read, and this is the Puffin Cloth-bound edition, so it is an edition for my bookcase. The last book that I just couldn't stop reading was Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier. This is a beautiful novel, and I would recommend it to anyone. Yeah, I truly enjoyed reading this one. It is about love, it is a romance, but it has a bit more to it than just that. Alright, I would like to tag Dr. Cranky Pants Reads in this video to do this tag. If you enjoyed this video, please like, leave a comment, or subscribe if you haven't done so already. And I hope to see you soon in another video. Bye!